A player who surprised himself here in Derby with victories over world champion Bingham and UK champion Stevens. Emerging for his first seniors final, the former Welsh Open champion, the gentleman, Joe Perry. Now to the most successful seniors player in history and one of the most popular men ever to pick up a cue. 44 years after his first major final, he's still going strong. So come on, Derby, let's hear you roar for snooker royalty. It's the whirlwind, Jimmy White.
Thank you, Rachel. No, you certainly can't. Bye, oh bye, Joe. What an entrance that was, wasn't it?
The first frame.
Very special. The crowd really getting behind the players, and wow, if that doesn't fire them up. So Joe, breaking off. Always good to get a good break off to start with. Well, if these two play like they did yesterday, they're in for a belter. And that's a good safety from Jimmy, finding that baulk cushion.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Both of them were absolutely sensational in the semi-finals. And particularly, Joe, I thought, played extremely well. And you've got to remember, he retired from the professional tour. Jimmy's still active on it, so you'd think Joe wouldn't be quite as sharp, but certainly proved he was still playing well yesterday.
Yeah, another good safety. Appreciated by the crowd. I think the safety has got to be good today. Nothing wrong with them eyes.
Yeah, when players play the ball extremely thin like that, you've got to give credit to the table fitters, and we've been playing with a new cloth this year, Liberwin cloth, and it's been running exceptionally well, very fast. It's made the game flow, open. It's been exceptional conditions, Joe, hasn't it?
Yeah, the conditions are perfect for snooker players. Jimmy a little bit fortunate there, getting the hamper over the brown. He'd left a red to the left corner, which would have been on. Now this red, if you can see it to the left corner, it's going to be fairly straight. And there it is. I'm not sure if you can pot the red. Looking right down the line there. And as I say, even if you could, difficult to get to a colour from it. Big shot this. Yeah, hit the wrong red. It was very tight, that. On camera it didn't look as though he could pot it. But he must have thought so. So, first chance goes to Joe Perry.
One.
Had a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and spin it out for the black or the pink. And this is awkward again. Yeah, good pot. Didn't deserve that, did he?
3.
Fabulous spot. Like you say, a little bump off the middle. He's in prime position again. This is where he was dangerous yesterday. Took him a little bit of time just to get the cue ball under control, but once he did, seemed on top of things.
Yeah, it's not an easy table though, is it? Not many reds available, not many colours available. So trying to make something happen there. And I don't think he'd have that over.
6.
The red nearest the right corner is now blocking black going in there, so he'd like to get rid of that red as soon as possible.
Seven.
You've called that exactly right, Joe. That was the danger one, wasn't it? Just to free that black up.
12.
He's played that very well. He's certainly got the speed of the table worked out. This will do him the world of good,
13.
settling in.
Yeah, just overrun for comfort there. He has the option of going into the pack of reds. Also could play for the loose one by the black or the one near the left corner, so he's got options. Well, there must be one by the pink spot, which we couldn't tell from our
8.
angle. And there it is. And this will lead him to the black or the blue.
19.
And he's manoeuvred the balls nicely to give him this chance.
$26. 27.
And when he takes his next red, the black will be free in both pockets. You'd like to give those 4 reds a little nudge.
34.
It doesn't need to, it's still got another couple of reds after this one.
35.
Not quite where he wanted to be. You can see there, he would have liked to have been low on this to go into that little cluster like Joe said. But he's obviously spotted a plant here.
42.
Yeah, it was spot on, wasn't it? And he hasn't played a very good positional shot there. He'll be disappointed with that. Had he finished nicely on the black there, he could have opened the reds up and it could have been end of game. As it is, he's just looking at the safety. Doesn't really want to give Jimmy a chance, so
Green
maybe
ball.
push the green safe and leave that cue ball close to the cushion.
Joe Perry, 43.
Well, it's a nice lead, but 43 at this level doesn't mean too much. Well, he's got a chance at this red down the left corner, and he's also got one to the right corner. But it looks like he's playing to safety. Well, he had a chance there. I'm not so sure if that was the correct shot to play. He's given Jimmy a chance here, and if this goes in... Good pot.
1.
And now nothing really safe. The red next to the black. It's probably the only difficult red.
Yellow ball.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering whether he's regretting not getting that green safe like you suggested, Joe.
Yeah, I think he may have tried to push the green to the right cushion. Maybe the cue ball drifted slightly. But it followed him what he wanted. Because as professional snooker players, we're always looking for some insurance, aren't we? Oh, Jimmy got plenty of action on the cue ball there from yellow to red. It's going to make things easier if you can pot the pink, get it back on its spot. It just drifted slightly to the left. You could just see the pink just slightly drifting to the left. Caught that near knuckle, stayed out.
One.
Yeah, you just get that little bit of the nap on the cloth sometimes, just pulls the pink down a touch. Maybe that's what's happened. Anyway, it was a chance.
7.
So's this. He's not perfect, as you can see, so he's going to have to be careful with the cue ball here. 46 in front.
Joe
Well,
Perry, 7.
that is a surprising miss from Joe. He wasn't ideal on the red, but he just needed the red and the colour to secure the frame. And, wow, missed it by a long way, really.
It was almost a scuff off his tip, actually. I mean, he did check his tip afterwards, but sometimes that happens if you're putting a lot of side on. Well, Joe, ideally, could do with putting this red back on a cushion. Certainly not over that pocket.
No, he caught it a little bit too thick, didn't he? That's why he's made contact with blue. So another chance for Jimmy. But again, it's not a really good chance when that black's tied up. Well, he's got the black free.
1.
But he's not on a colour. That could have ended up so much better.
Yellow ball. Jimmy White, 1.
Well, the yellow has come to save the safety shot, return safety shot from Joe Perry. Wow, I think he was kind of forced into taking that on. And again, he's been a little bit fortunate there. That red could have finished anywhere.
One.
Well, that's an excellent pot, that. He shouldn't have been allowed to see it, though. Jimmy should have had him behind the yellow there. But an excellent pot from Joe. Snooker's required.
Four. Ten. $11.
So a little bit as expected, the first frame. Both players, with it being the first frame, had chances and just getting used to the conditions out there and the table and the crowd and the lighting. So it's always nice though to get the first
18.
frame under your belt. So Jimmy will be a bit disappointed, but it's the way it goes. You've just got to gather yourself and get on with it.
20.
Yeah, dead right. And you've got to prepare your mind. So while you sat there watching the game,
23.
Jimmy's preparing his mind for the next frame coming up. Got to forget everything that's happened in this one.
$27.
Yeah, so good opening frame from Joe Perry. And it's already beginning to look like a good final. Both players have chances. And we'll be back in a few moments.
And both players did have chances in the first frame, but sometimes that's how it goes. Like you say, getting used to the conditions plays a big part of being a snooker player, and I think both of the guys now will understand how the table's running and the speed. So there shouldn't, in theory, be too many more mistakes by not getting used to the table.
Well, Joe refusing that red to the right corner. May have thought that he was going to cannon into something. Choosing the safety. But this isn't safe. Yeah, played it with a lot of side on the cue ball to avoid the reds, and that made the pot a lot more difficult. Well, that was a long way off for Joe. has he been fortunate?
Touching ball.
Can he see the easy red to the left corner? He can. So this is a decent chance, this, for Jimmy.
1.
Just a reminder, winner of this match, £15,000, runner-up 7, so there's a lot to play for. There will be tension.
8.
Magnificent trophy as well that they're playing for.
9.
Well played. Played it nice. Top side of the blue, that's ideally where he wants to be. If you notice the red in the balk end, near the brown, he'll keep that there as long as he can. And that's there should he not get the right side of the blue. He's always got an option to go it on. There's a lovely
14.
trophy.
$15.
Right, he was always going to be on the pink, but he's kind of tied the black up with that last shot. Maybe just played it a touch too hard. Well, he played it to drop in and it never moved.
Jimmy
It
White,
held its
15.
line. And that's a poor miss from Jimmy. Yeah, the last time he played the slow pink, it seemed to drift to the left-hand angle, but that one seemed to hold true. So a chance for
1.
Joe to forget all about the last shot he played.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Jimmy played for the drift. You'd think, you know, maybe on his mind, certainly. When you miss a ball, it's always on your mind, isn't it, Joe?
I think you're dead right, Mike. You know, I think he did play for the drift and it never moved. Doesn't do anything for your confidence though, does it, when you miss an easy one?
7.
So that's the black and pink tied
8.
up for the moment. As Mike said, that red in the balk area makes things a little bit easier. I think he may be looking for an angle on maybe one
11.
of the balk colours or the blue to open the reds up, and who knows, it could bring the pink and black into play.
12.
And that looks to be ideal. The pink looks dead in line with the black, so if he catches that red at the top of the pack there. Wow, I can't believe he played it that way.
12. Joe Perry, 12. Jimmy White, 5.
I thought it was a natural just to go into them full ball onto the red and bring the pink and black into play. It's a let-off.
Yeah, he didn't particularly play it hard either, did he? I mean, relatively simple blue. So just focus and get them open, but some days you land on your perfect, some days you don't. Well, good pot from Jimmy, but as you can see, he's the wrong side of the blue, so he's got a lot to do with his cue ball.
I think
Jimmy
there's a
White,
lot
1.
of nerves out there from both players. Just feeling each other out.
It can be a strange game, Joe, can't it? When one person misses an easy ball, it seems that the other player catches it and they miss an easy ball and so on. That many times, and someone plays well and your opponent plays well. It's strange sport sometimes.
1.
Now, blue to go into the reds possibly.
think that's the shot if you can get enough screw and right hand side on the cue ball. And nicely played. But is he on anything? I don't think he is, unless he can get the red to the left middle.
6.
The one to the right middle. It is on, but it's a more difficult pot. Yeah, good shot.
7.
And didn't need to do anything with the cue ball, the pink available. So another good chance this for Joe Perry.
$13. 14.
Just about squeaked top side of the blue, I think. And he's still okay, he can just run this through a touch. Yeah, well done. He's used the angle off the cushion just to widen it a touch there. You can always
90.
tell when Joe's playing well as his average shot time gets faster and faster. Gives you a good indication
20.
of a player thinking clear and scoring well. You've still got to deal with that red by the black spot though, that's the only problem I can see. It's not a particularly tight table,
25.
the pocket, so you wouldn't think you'd have too much trouble with the ones left and right.
Yeah, just overrun this one though, for comfort. Having to send the cue ball in and out of
26.
ball. And that is not what he wanted. And that was all down to the easy blue and finishing slightly too low on the red. So Jimmy White lives again.
Joe Perry. 26.
Yeah, not how he wanted to hit it. Just slightly harder and he got it safe. I think this will cut. Yeah, it's near.
Foul.
Oh dear.
Jimmy White 4.
He can't believe it. Tried to control the cue ball. It was always heading towards that middle. Now, chance of the double here, maybe. Certainly a good safety. So, the advantage falls to Jimmy now.
Thank you.
Oh, doesn't really want to move that red next to the black. I think that's the one he's playing. Yeah, good shot. Could so easily have left that red on. And with it, the game.
So I think he was in half a mind there of that black coming back across and maybe moving that red a touch. As you can see, it's gone wrong. It's brought that red up with the white. So this is a chance. It's a difficult one, obviously, but you will have a go at this.
Well, the run of the ball certainly favouring Joe Perry. Again, he could have left that red on, having missed it. That was a nice little tickle on the yellow. This is not easy to get safe. He's played it well. That's an excellent shot from Joe Perry. He needs some help, and he got some. What a kiss that was. Well, this is looking okay. We'll be delighted with that.
And it was just a little reminder that that shot clock is looming in the background as well. 30-second shot clock the guys have. We did occasionally go beep, beep, beep in the semi-finals. It's just a reminder, it just puts that little bit of pressure on.
Well, you would think first mistake would be costly. It's Jimmy's turn to get a bit of good fortune. This red is on to the corner, but it's a tough one. And if he misses it, every chance of leaving it on. Now he's overcut it. So, a good chance for Jimmy. I think it may be easier to get to the red by the baulk cushion if he plays for one of the baulk colours here.
1.
Needs to keep running. And that's okay. One of the best rest
Yellow
players
ball.
ever. Oh, that's unfortunate. Trying to nudge the red towards that corner.
It's this side. Yeah.
He just didn't finish ideal on the yellow.
3.
It'd been nicely on the yellow. I'm sure it would have been end of game. But a good chance of the snooker here. Try and keep the pressure on Joe Perry. That looks pretty good.
Jimmy White, 3.
Can it bend round the brown?
Thank you.
I think he can. But he's got to be careful of hitting the pink. He doesn't like it. Free ball if he misses it.
Foul. No miss. Jimmy White, 4. 3 ball. Green ball.
No, he knew he'd missed it as soon as he struck it. That was a really good chance for Jimmy White.
This is just pressure, pressure, pressure. I really do think Jimmy needs to win this frame, Joe, because if he doesn't, he's going to be aware that he's had chances in both frames and not got on the board.
Yeah, that's the way the mind works, isn't it? Even with the best of them. Another chance of a good safety here, though. I tell you what, he plays that shot so well, catching the red, ultra thin. Another good safety.
Well, he'll certainly be happy with that. As you can see, it's okay, you can hit the red, but what do you do with it? That cue ball's going to be in the centre of the table, you'd think, so he's got to try and find some way of putting the red safe and get the cue ball safe. Yeah, there's always going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's found the pace again though, Mike. Good shot. That's what he played. Didn't think too much about the white, didn't need to. Got to get the red safe, which is done. Yeah, they've played each other 10 times, and it's 5 each on the head-to-head. The last time they played it was Joe who won. Beat Jimmy 4-1. And that was in the English Open. Oh, didn't want the kiss. Now, does it pass the brown, the red? Oof, that was so close, wasn't it? Now, there's only 6 in the game. So Jimmy just needs to have a little count up here.
One.
Well, by playing that shot, he's going to need the pink. Needed to play for the blue or the black, but I don't think he could have held for it. The pink does favour a left-handed player though, where it is.
4.
And this pressure will just
6.
get more and more as he gets towards the pink. And of course, like I said, I really do think he needs to win this frame. I know it's early in the match, but he has had chances. It's the only way you're going to forget about things that you've missed is by winning frames. If you don't, you carry
9.
them with you into the next frame sometimes. So this is a big shot coming up. Needs a nice angle on this blue.
Yeah, that's okay. Now, does he play to bring the pink into play or drop in behind it? The choice is his. He played to drop in behind it, but
18.
he's short of pace. Now, what does he do here, Mike?
He's going for it.
Is he playing the snooker as well? Oh, great shot. Great shot.
Good ball in hand. Jimmy White.
And what a frame he needed there for Jimmy White. Scores are all level at 1 each. And we'll be back in a few moments.
Well, it was definitely, thank you, Rich, definitely a frame that Jimmy needed to win, I felt, or we felt. I mean, Jimmy had chances, Joe's had chances, and to fall 2-0 down and not take chances really does eat away at you at a play, so you'll be relieved.
Yes, I agree, Mike. It'll feel part of the match now, 1 each. Yeah, managed to miss the black. Again, he's pushed the red towards that left corner, and that kiss didn't do him any good at all. Left an easy red. The black not available from where he is at the moment. It's not easy to get back down the table for pink or blue.
One.
And that is not where he wanted to be.
Yellow ball.
Well, it certainly helps if you can see the yellow. It would have been a tough snooker.
Foul. No miss. Jimmy White 1. Joe Perry 4. Back.
Well, because he can't see a colour full ball, this will keep going back until he hits one.
I think he's possibly got a little bit of side on this, Joe, hasn't it? And it's gone against the nap of the cloth, which runs down the table, and maybe just took it offline a touch.
Yeah, that's
A bit more.
a possibility.
There are definitely no full ball contact. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yep, yep.
Now, can he see the yellow full ball? That's the question.
Always extremely difficult queuing over a ball, and to me it looked as though he just a little bit of right hand side on that, which maybe drifted it to the left slightly, but certainly queuing over any ball, best advice I'll give anyone playing the game is do as little queuing up as possible and as slow as possible, and it just gives you that stability.
Is it
Last
yellow?
thing you want to do is move the cue fast and your bridge is rocking. That's much better.
Yeah, I think that's all he could hit, you know. And as you say, right-hand side going against the nap takes it to the left. You'd think the opposite. But going against the nap with right-hand side sends it left. Oh, you did right, Mike.
You, of course, Jaws, had a marvellous career. 1986 world champion, many other tournaments. Have you got any fond memories of playing Derby anywhere?
Yeah, I remember playing Tony Drago here once. We were both playing at his best, and it only took an hour and 20 minutes, I think, for the whole match. And I also remember playing David Taylor here. And what a good player he was, David Taylor. And he beat me on that occasion. So not a fond memory there. I'll tell you what, these boys are playing some good safety. A little tap on the table there from Jimmy. Yeah, good shot now. Played the pot, but played that cue ball to the baulk cushion.
Now, this may be a shot to nothing, or he's going to go for it and send the white back up the table. He doesn't want it sticking over that corner pocket as it has.
Yeah, but it looks like it's pretty straight again, Mike. Or maybe he's got a slight angle. Difficult to get back down to the blue. Good pot.
One.
Oh, very nicely. In fact, a little bit too hard for the blue. Good cueing. And again, he's just got hold of the cue ball a little bit too much for comfort. I'm pretty sure he played for the red to the right corner. This one.
5.
Again, not easy this. And he's got to work the cue ball. Black spot held by the red. Highest available is the yellow spot. But again, it's not going to be easy to get to a colour here. Again,
Jimmy White.
he's
12.
misjudged it. I expected it to drop slightly, and it held true.
I'll tell you what, he must hit that middle pocket. I mean, that's 3 he's missed in that bag. And it's hard
One.
to say, but I don't think you can blame the table. It's just the way it's gone. Such a good potter, Jimmy, and he played some exceptional middle ball pots, I remember, in his last match. Until he gets one, it'll be on his mind. Wanted that to run a little bit more. Sometimes it's hard if you're cueing slightly down on the cue ball to generate the top spin, but let's see how good he is with the rest.
can't fault that.
5.
Now again, I think a really confident Joe Perry would go into the reds here. Try and catch that pink full in the face. Joe's to play for the loose one.
10.
The red below the pink looks available to the right middle.
$11.
Wow,
Joe
Joe
Perry.
Perry
11.
misjudging the middle pocket. Again, he probably expected it to fall slightly, but it didn't. Lethal, these middle pockets, I can tell you. Both these players yesterday made the game look so easy. And it just shows you how hard the table can be, how hard the game can be.
Jimmy White 4.
And that's unfortunate from Joe Perry again. Good pot. But the red going in off the red. Another big shot this for Jimmy. Good pot, but that cue ball
1.
very close to the middle. Oh, can he get to the easy pink?
Ping ball. $7.
Oh, that's tight, isn't it? I don't think the lower red goes. And he doesn't think the higher red goes, so it's just a safety.
Joe Perry 7.
That is a fantastic shot. That shot of the match for me. That really is. Very, very easy to get a double kiss on a red when it's on a cushion like that.
Yeah, so easy to catch them too thick or miss the ball. Excellent safety. Well, he's looking at this red on the cushion. Not comfortable with it. He'll be disappointed. That looks so easy to miss the back. Leave his opponent snookered.
Well, he'd like to get behind the black and the yellow, but as you can see with that blue moving out, it just puts it in the way a little bit. Certainly with the pass of the cue ball, so he'll still attempt it. He just wants to miss the blue if he can. Well, he's missed it. That's not bad. Well, the good thing is it's open, them reds are a little bit open now. Because it could have been stuck down there for a while. Joe's just got to be careful. Well played, well played. What a pot that is. I was worried he was going to push it over the pocket, but even better if he can pot it.
Yeah, terrific pot.
Yellow ball.
And I suppose he's a little bit unlucky
Jeff
not to be
Harry.
on a colour from such a good pot. And you don't get too long to think about these escapes. 30 seconds. Target the red by the right corner. Looking good.
Foul. Miss.
Wow.
Jeff Harry 4.
Couldn't get much closer. Tatiana Williston replacing the cue ball. Her husband plays on the pro tour, Ben Williston.
Thank you.
Slightly harder, and this time he's found the mark.
Yeah, hope you're at home watching, Ben. You and your lovely children. And remember, you're going to be here one day. I'm sure you're creeping up towards that 40 mark.
Well, another good
One.
pot, but the kiss wasn't favourable. So it's just a snooker again. I say just a snooker. You can win the frames from these snookers.
Jeff Harry 1.
Although he hasn't got it. So, half chance for Joe Perry. And that's a good pot.
1.
Again, not the best of kisses. Yes, the pink's on to the middle. And this time right in the centre. He's played that well.
7. Eight.
Trying to develop the red, pushing it over the middle pocket, but hasn't quite got there. So the next red is going to be a little bit more difficult.
$14.
Yeah, too risky to play the
Barry,
red to the middle.
14.
Couldn't get on a colour, and he was guaranteed to leave a red on, and he missed it. 25-point lead. Another beauty from Jimmy White. And he could do that red going right over the pocket.
One. Yellow ball.
I'm surprised he didn't take the pink, you know.
Jimmy White, one.
Has he been fortunate?
I've never seen Jimmy miss so many balls. I think he's 2 from 7 in the centre pockets. It's bizarre for me.
Yeah, he had a bit of good fortune there, didn't he? Could so easily have left that red on. Well, the yellow where it is certainly suits Joe Perry. If Jimmy does get a chance.
Well, I'd be surprised if he doesn't go for this because he's got that yellow and the red on the cushion. It's a bit of security, but depends how he's feeling out there. Yeah, obviously not feeling it. Well, of course, he wasn't guaranteed being on the colour if he went for it either, so maybe the right choice.
Well, certainly the brown going where it is helps Joe. Another great pot.
One.
Terrific pot from Jimmy White. Well, he could play the pink to the middle and then play the double, bring the yellow into play. I know it's risky, but Jimmy's not afraid of taking the odd risk. And the crowd getting behind Jimmy there, realising that he hasn't had many middle pocket shots.
7.
Well, that's what he played.
Jimmy
And he's
White,
got away
7.
with it. That's brought the yellow into play, so there's only the brown and the black now. Well, that didn't look hard enough when he struck it, but it's reached.
Well,
Hasn't
no,
hit it, but
Jimmy
it
White,
reached the
4.
cushion. Didn't think it would.
Jimmy.
Now, is it worth doing the risk of bringing black and brown in to play off this red? It just depends if you can get the red to stick and then the white down the bottom of the table. If the angle's not that good, he won't, but yeah, it maybe wasn't clever. Tried it with a white. Well, it's helped him a little bit, but not a great deal.
Oh, another good pot.
1.
And just in no man's land again.
Yeah, I think this is why this has been the longest frame of the tournament, Joan. It's just the way the balls have gone, I think, hasn't it? They've had chances, but...
Yeah, it's been tough snooker. Good safety play. I'm surprised he's playing the brown. Well, no, that's a good shot. I thought he was going to bring the brown into play. Of course, with not getting a colour off that last red, Joe now needs the brown. Yeah, the yellow is on. Now, can he get to the green to get to the brown? Yellow, green and brown needed. And that looks to be a good angle. No choice whether to drop him behind the brown or try and bring it into play.
5.
So just the brown needed. And it's not there.
Strawberry 5.
So how important is that brown going to be? I think Jimmy was asking him there if he had a kick on the brown.
I think he'd be kicking something after missing it.
Yeah, just slightly too heavy for the blue. It's the wrong side of it. So the pink not going to be as easy as what he would have liked.
Nine.
So this is the biggest shot of the frame for Jimmy White. Oh, great shot. Great shot. He'd have preferred to have been the other side of this black. Oof. Shouts have come on, Jimmy, but ooh, you wouldn't want this black.
Dearie me, this is tough.
What a shot! What a shot! Jimmy White knocks in the black to take a 2-1 lead, and Joe Perry just reflecting on the brown, I would imagine. What a great shot that was. And Jimmy White leads 2-1. Just join us in a moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a puzzler. I mean, the guys are obviously down there and they can see exactly what's going on, but a few missed balls in the centre pocket have been missed high and low, which should suggest that the table's running okay, because we've been right behind the line of certainly the centre pockets, And they don't appear to have moved, apart from one ball, which you'd find naturally comes down at the near jaw. But like I say, we're not out there, but I think the table's been exceptional the last 2 or 3 days. Who knows, but at the interval coming up after 6 frames, it will get looked at.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to drift off on them good safety shots that both of them are playing. Having said
Ball.
that,
No miss. Jimmy White 4.
but he does like to hit the balls very thin, Joe Perry, and to play like that you do have to risk missing the ball. Well, that red definitely not on, but there is one at the back of the pack there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I mean, he's one of these players that does like to just push reds back into the pack and hit them extremely thin. And apart from that one, he's hit them fantastically well all match and got the white back. So that would suggest to me it's running very well out there. Well, that black going in won't be running well for him.
Jimmy White 7.
That's unfortunate. No damage done, you'd think.
Yeah, very risky, the reds to the left corner. So big target, the brown and the yellow. What a fantastic venue this is. Packed house again. Great atmosphere. Me and Mike want to be playing out there. So good. Needs a bit of luck. You can see the easy red. But the cue ball could be going into the red next to it. And that might help him to stay on the black.
One.
Fraction harder.
Yeah, fraction harder, a little unfortunate.
Yellow
You
ball.
can just see there, if he'd just been a little bit higher up the table, he was prime position. Now this will be an indicator of how the table's running.
Joe Perry
And
1.
there you go. Exactly where he wanted. White on the cushion. Of course there's hand marks and all sorts. Little bits of chalk, hand marks on the table. They're very, very fine cloths, these. He doesn't want to catch this blue.
Yeah, hit the ball too thick, didn't it? Got too close to the corner pocket. So, another chance here for Joe Perry.
One.
Wow, that used all the pocket. So this is a really good chance with the ball spread nicely around the black and pink. And he's always been so very good at playing those little cannons.
8. Nine.
totally agree. And Joe's the type of player, you don't see him hitting the ball hard often and using all the pocket when he
16.
can, so it can make him very accurate and very dangerous. Some guys would
70.
punch the ball and run through, whereas Joe, a bit like Mike Williams to a certain extent, would float the balls in. Gives you much more chance of scoring higher. Less chance of missing. You can see when
20.
the player's in the zone, he's speeded right up now because this is just like a practice routine. Average shot time
25.
still around 20 seconds. And that's duly because of the frame before. There's a lot of thinking going on in that last frame. Normally would be 17, 18 seconds for both of them.
32.
But this, shelling peas, as they used to say.
33. 39.
Doesn't need
40.
to worry too much about them 3 reds on the black rail at the moment. Might not even need them. Just work with what he's got. Doesn't need to develop anything.
No, I'd be very surprised if Joe didn't win the frame at this visit.
47.
Stranger things have happened, of course. But he's looking good, actually.
48.
He's won 2 ranking events, Joe Perry. I suppose the most famous one was when he beat Judd Trump in the Welsh Open. Beat him quite easily, actually.
54.
9-5. And that's only 3 years ago.
$55.
Well, that's the first mistake. Getting the wrong side of the pink. Very good with the rest though, Joe.
61.
Certainly is, and he's got the highest break of the tournament, 131.
Very close to that brown, very close. But Tatiana Wollaston keeping a close eye on it. Oh, he's missed it.
Joe Perry, 61.
He was approaching the winning line. Well, this could be a shot to nothing for Jimmy. The red is on to the left corner. I think he can avoid the pink. Oh, great pot. He couldn't avoid the pink. He's unfortunate there to have finished where he's finished. And he does need the points. He's 50 points behind. As we look at this great long red again.
ball.
It was never easy,
Jimmy White
and
1.
he's managed to get on these two reds. Yeah, good pop. He was at full stretch there. So he needs the black and one more red. And barring snookers, it should be 2 each. So, frame ball.
9.
And that should seal the frame. Nice angle to bring the more reds into play.
$16. $70.
Yeah, the 61 break that he had did the damage. But the reds were nicely placed around the black.
This will give him a lot of confidence, Joe, won't it, for the
20.
next frame? He's got his eye back in.
Yeah, always good to
25.
level up and do it in style. And this has been the quickest frame so far.
$32. $33. $37.
Visions of the brown that he missed in the last frame.
39.
That's all he tried to do.
$42. $46. $51. $57.
Yeah, nicely done. And with 260 breaks, he takes the fourth frame and levels things up at 2 each. And it's really hotting up now, out there. Don't miss the next frame. Join us in a moment.
Well,
Frame
it's certainly
5.
hotting up now.
Joe
It was
Perry
a,
to break.
a fine performance if you've just joined us from Joe Perry in the last frame. 61, 64 breaks. We've had a few scrappy frames. Longest frame of the tournament, but there's a lot of pressure out there. But it was nice to see Joe show what he's capable of, and he's certainly done it throughout the tournament. There's no doubt in my mind, and I think everybody else's, that these have been the two best guys in the tournament. Thoroughly deserve to get through. Both been scoring very well. They're just not quite going in for Jimmy as they were yesterday and the day before. I thought his long potting had been exceptional. Just a reminder, £15,000 for the winner, 7 for the runner-up. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I think he might have taken the double on, but I don't think it's on because of the red. That's in the middle of the table. Couldn't have left anything that the red he was playing on. And now with the red down in the baulk area, it could be a prolonged safety battle. Although Joe is eyeing this red to the left middle. It's a big one. No, played the safety. Now, can Jimmy be tempted? Bang on the black, wasn't he? And the middles haven't been Jimmy's favourite pocket this afternoon. Jimmy's missed 8 shots to the middle pocket this afternoon so far, so he won't be too enthused about taking this one on. Could be a frame winner. Good shot.
One.
Excellent shot. Unfortunately, the kiss wasn't too good. Green is on, but it's a difficult one.
Green ball.
Good pot. Needs to skim off the reds. He could be okay. Red to the left middle, but again, middle pocket.
Four.
Yeah, nicely done. Again, the kiss. Could have been kinder.
Green ball.
Yeah, dependable Jimmy on the middle pockets with the rest. Sorry, the corner pocket with the rest. Beautiful shot.
8.
Oh, what can Jimmy do? We've seen Joe Perry make them 260 breaks in the last frame.
9.
He wants to show this crowd that he can do the same. Wow, would you believe it?
Jimmy White. 9.
That wasn't difficult. Just running through off the 2 cushions for this red into the baulk corner. And it really does zap your confidence. All you can think about is missing. Well, that didn't go according to plan. I'm sure he expected to be on one of the colours there. I have to just play the snooker.
Green ball. Joe Perry 1.
Well, it should be easy to hit a red, you'd think, but it's what he's leaving. Well, he's hit one, and you know what? That's a fabulous shot, because I don't think he's left anything easy, Joe.
Yeah, what a great shot that was. To hit the right side of the red, not to leave it on. Excellent shot. It looked easier for me for him to play into the pack, but he had other ideas. It's a tough shot, this red to the right corner. I'm sure I'll be taking it on though. Close. But again, I don't think there's any damage done. Well, this time he has misjudged the pace. Cue ball should have been close to the ball cushion there, if not tight. Jimmy could be tempted by this red. Not the best kiss in the world on the black. Seemed to hit that a little hard to me.
One.
Well, that couldn't have landed much better. Desperate to get the blue back on its spot.
Six.
That was a lovely played shot there, stun run through. Very, very difficult to play, especially with pressure involved. Sometimes it's difficult to push the
7.
cue through and generate the run through under pressure. Played it well. Now, pink will go on the black spot, I think. Will it? Let's just see. No, it won't. It is available.
13.
That's going to make things more difficult. So he may choose to go into the reds here, top spin, open them all up, or he may play past them. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's gone into them.
15.
2 have gone in.
2 reds. 2 reds, 15.
Yes, and more importantly, Mike, he's finished on the brown with the reds open. Got to concentrate on the blue, both colours. This is a good chance. Could have done without the kiss though.
19.
The red will cut to the middle, but a little bit more difficult than it would have been.
20.
Well, it would certainly help to get the black back on its spot. If he can pop this one, finish on a red, which I'm sure he will, I think this is a good frame winning chance. Already showed that he's got his eye in with the 260 odd breaks in the last frame.
Again, this is all through that mistake from Jimmy, remember? Another centre ball, blew into the pocket.
27.
Otherwise, these could have quite easily been Jimmy's. So once again, he has his chance. It's got to be said.
28.
It just seems to be Joe seems to be scoring heavier than Jimmy at the moment, and that's been the difference. He doesn't have to do a great deal yet, but you can see them two balls near the pink.
35.
He may have to develop one.
36.
I think the right hand one of the two, if he needs to, goes in the centre, but
43. 44.
As you say, Mike, the red next to the pink will go to the middle. So 43 points
51.
the difference. This red is all he needs.
$52.
So no need to go into them, just make sure of the black and play for the red to the middle. And applause for Joe Perry,
59.
making sure with that black.
60.
And as Mike says, it was Jimmy that had the chance when he missed the blue to the middle.
$65.
Another good shot.
66.
And with the black, just enough for a century. Slow down.
73. 75.
Yeah,
70.
little touch aside on the cue ball to avoid the black. And the crowd willing him on for this century break.
$82.
so easy, isn't it, Joe, when you're playing well?
And when your confidence is good, the game can be easy.
87. 93. 100.
Wonderful stuff from Joe Perry. Followed those two 60 breaks in the last round of the century. Beautiful stuff.
If you've missed it, Joe Perry, the last two frames, has been absolutely fantastic. He's had breaks of 61, 64, 100. He's really putting the pressure on Jimmy. As Jimmy's a bit of frustration there, banging his cue. You can see the pressure is on him, and that's to do with Joe. Joe's playing well now and putting him under pressure, and it's showing. We've got one more frame, and then we're going to have an interval.
One.
Yeah, good pot. Yeah, and I think you're dead right there, Mike. You know, Joe's put him under pressure. He missed that easy blue in the last frame, Jimmy, and really paid the price for it. Joe knocked in a century from that miss.
6.
So Mike Dunn told you all the breaks that Joe Perry's had. Unfortunately for Jimmy White and his fans, his highest break so far is just 24. And if he's going to win this final, it's got to improve, hasn't it? He knows it.
12.
And maybe the break will come at the right time for Jimmy.
30.
We'll be having a short break after this frame. And Jimmy will be hoping it's 3 each. The black not available in either pocket at the moment, so it could do with removing one of the reds that's blocking the way.
$90.
So it looks like down for one of the bought colours. With the pink and black now tied up.
20.
This could be good. It could be good. Very good. Hit the red, which frees the black into the right corner. And taking this one, frees the black into the left corner. That shot couldn't have gone any better.
20.
That was definitely shot of the match for me, that, Joe. That was fantastic, wasn't it?
If he played the cannon to that red, yeah, absolutely. And I think he did. Now, if he can leave himself a little low on the black
32.
here, can go into the reds with the insurance of that loose red. I'd be surprised if he didn't go into the reds here. Oh, how's your luck?
39.
It's awkward queuing. It could have been so much easier. He's split them. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, good shot, and nicely on one of the bought colours. I'm fearing the worst for Jimmy White right now.
$43.
He's gathered so much momentum each frame he's got in and scored. You've got to remember, this is a guy that retired from the main tour. So in theory, he shouldn't be as sharp as what he's showing here. But he's just getting stronger and stronger. So this interval will come at the right time for Jimmy, believe me.
44.
Yeah, he was at full stretch there, so he's not ideal on the black. These can be missed.
$51.
Yeah, the black, he had to concentrate on the pot,
51.
the black, which led to him not being ideal on the next red. I still expected him to pot that, but, you know, you can't keep making recovery shots. And a big, big shot this for Jimmy. He's struggling. And like Mike said, I don't think the interval can come quick enough. Normally Jimmy would have punished heavily there. We're all there for the taking, had that red gun in. Oh, better let off. Just what Jimmy White needed. Okay, he hasn't left anything easy, but game is still live. Yeah, good shot, but the cue ball,
One.
oh, it was going enough. He's hit the wrong cushion there, Jimmy. He tried to hit the black cushion first and caught the side cushion. And that's the first pot Jimmy's had in 18 minutes. It's a good one. It's a good one, and I think he's on the red to the middle.
8. Nine.
So he's still got the problem of those two reds closest together. But he'll just like to pot a few balls. Get the feel of the match again. And that's not the best shot he's ever played.
16.
This is very tricky. Yeah, good pot.
17.
Excellent pot. Had the white just been a fraction off the cushion, he could have held for the black.
$21. $22.
Nicely played. Around the back of the black.
If he can somehow, Joe, get to 3-3, it'll be remarkable the way he's played, won't it?
29.
Well, that's his highest break so far now. Mike, 29.
30.
Yeah, what kind of an angle has he got on the black to be able to get to those two reds? Not the best angle. Had to play for the red to the middle, but he's played it well.
37.
And now just 14 points behind. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think Jimmy
44.
thinks he had a big bounce there. Tend to agree with him. Seemed to bounce off the cushion.
Jimmy White. 44.
Got a good finish. 44 break came at the right time. So, half chance. Jimmy. %50 long pot success. It could have turned out okay.
Well, that's an excellent shot, and I think the blue's going to be coming into play from this next one. And what Jimmy would like to do is probably hit the blue from behind after he's hit the red, to try and keep the red there, the white there, and send the red down the table. Here we go. Yeah. So it's just killed the white. Doesn't want to leave this red on though, and he has.
Yeah, big shot this. Oh, and that's another good shot from Joe Perry. Yeah, he's not on anything, is he? Nothing easy anyway. If he could have potted the brown, he wouldn't have needed the difficult blue.
Joe Perry 1.
Well, this is dangerous. You can see he's going to try and get this cue ball towards the blue area. Maybe behind it if he can, but that yellow is going to be going to the pocket towards it, which it has.
Oh, another beauty.
2.
And that wasn't the worst kiss he's ever had. But he does need the blue.
Five.
Yeah, just a little short of pace. And he's going to take a good shot to get to the blue from there. Not impossible. Just going to need to be a very good shot. Well, didn't play it.
Joe Perry 5.
Oh, this is good. This is good. That's a cracking shot. And the brown bouncing off the cushion makes it a bit more difficult to hit. Oh, where's it going to finish? Oh, very fortunate. Very fortunate. Is it hard enough? Is it hard enough? Good attempt.
So ideally, if you can hit the brown full in the face, get the cue ball behind the black. But he's just got to be careful. I didn't fancy it.
No, maybe Joe Perry can get in behind the blue here. Just going to make sure that the brown's safe on the right side cushion. Now, has he got him? There's no applause, so I think not.
This has been fantastic safety so far, and as you can see, 3-2 could either be 3-3 or 4-2, so there's a lot at stake.
A great attempt. I don't think it's a snooker, but great attempt. Well, that's not the best shot he's ever played. Is he Pink going to come to his rescue? Can't pot it. He can, you know. Pink again. Ah, what about that? Where's that cue ball going now? He's okay.
9.
Well, you won't see better pots than that, and that's got to be shot for the tournament, that. Not just potting the blue, but getting the cue ball back down here. Stay still. Yeah, it's good. Well, what a finish to this first session. Incredible pot on the brown and blue. Wonderful stuff, and Jimmy White levels at 3 each. What a final session we've got coming for you in just a short while.
Pink and black. Pink was a bit twitchy. I mean, to be 3-3, and in fairness, he hasn't really played your highest break of 44, not had a 30 break other than that, so for him to go into the interval 3-3, he'll be over the moon with that one. Sure to get better in this session is Jimmy. I think he's struggling a little bit of a hangover from yesterday's brilliant performance, but he's got to get back to work here.
Pretty good break-off shot from Joe. He's got a good length for the cue ball there. He's left a potential pot into this right corner, but it's far from easy, and he could leave him in if he doesn't knock this in. And that's exactly what he's done. Is the blue going to come to his rescue? He's been very fortunate there. If he can't get past the blue. Bit of a result there for Jimmy. Oh, that's very careless. Very careless from Joe Perry there. I was just about to say he was up in the players' lounge and he looked pretty relaxed, but I'll tell you what, after playing that shot, he'd be far from relaxed, John.
1.
Yeah, he could just do with a frame, Jimmy, when he gets a decent contribution, 50, 60 plus, just to get his arm going, scoring-wise.
say yesterday he was, well,
Foul.
that's unlucky. That
Jimmy
is
White,
very
1.
unlucky.
Joe Perry, 7.
Just when you need something just to get going, you go and do that. It wasn't obvious. That red would go in the middle.
Well, he had the interval to forget about the previous frame that he should have really won. He was 51 in front and just ran slightly out of position, and I think it's knocked him for 6 at the moment. I didn't detect any bad contact there. Well, what's a few strange shots at the start. Don't know what's going on at the interval.
Turned out to be not the worst bump you've ever seen, that. It's basically just the one red on the left you can see. Now, does the bottom red of that cluster actually pot for Joe Perry? And it does.
Yeah, he just let the white slip away there. When you're playing a cannon like that, it's important to get the pace right. This is tough. He's just all at sea since the mid-session interval. It'll need an easier chance to settle him down again. And I think Jimmy will sense what's happened.
100%, Dennis.
He's going to capitalise on it.
100%. You'll know. When you're out there, you see your opponent just teetering a little bit. You know, it's the time to try and press home an advantage. Or at least make him suffer. But a couple of worrying shots. And there was nearly another one. But it wriggled in.
Touch and ball. Nine.
Yeah, nothing easily available here, so all about the split. This is one of those packs that you need to stun up into. With plenty of force, you shouldn't lose the cue ball. Ah, he's played it nicely, just played on the outside, just a little stun, just developed a couple of reds. Nicely played.
16. Yeah,
I think he called on all his experience. There are a lot of players would have screwed straight into the back of the reds, which our dear old friend used to call it a flat back pack, Willie Thorne, and Jimmy knew that. That's why he stunned into the side of them. We always talk about who's the best rest player in the game, and it's Sean Murphy, Kyron Wilson. But the people forget about Jimmy White. He's right up there with them. Always has been wonderful when using the rest.
.26.
Yeah, cannon's worked out okay. It does go between brown and yellow.
$27.
Cue ball's not very good here, though. Yeah, he's just struggling for his cue ball here today. Yesterday was exemplary. At the moment, it's a bit of a struggle. Great pot, though. And we'll be happy with the result.
34. $35.
Yeah, as John mentioned earlier, his highest break was a break of 44. But it's a much more confident Jimmy White that's at the table now. And why wouldn't he be after that
Green ball.
wonderful frame before the mid-session interval? Still a few reds available, but the pink's in a little bit of an awkward position. He can't play for the black here, but he's just got to be a wee bit careful with this one.
39.
And the pink back on its spot would certainly help, and it sort of helps to clear the blue there a little bit.
Yeah, the problem here, of course, is it needs to be left side of the table. There's 4 reds will all pot as long as you're down the left side. You can get on one on the right, but ideally if you get the cue ball across the table, which he was trying to do, flicked on the pink. As I say, all 4 of them would have been available. So now he's got to use that rest again.
That's a wonderful recovery shot. Back in prime position again. It just went slightly awry there. This is exactly what he did against Alfie Bird and lost the 2 opening frames, and then he got stronger, and he's doing it again.
Yeah, make no mistake, Dennis. He's just seen what Joe's just done in his frame. More than one occasion. Worrying signs for Joe. A couple of very poor shots. And Jimmy's jumped on it. He knows his opponent's just starting to feel it a little.
Hmm. 58.
Might not be on anything here, though. 51 ahead, 51 on.
Yeah, I think the crowd there applauded. They thought he played a great shot, but the red was blocking the path there. And this is a bit of a risky one. Nope.
Jimmy White, 58.
And there's 51 points on the table, so he's got to get 3 reds, 3 blacks, and all the colours to tie the frame. And if this red goes up past the pink, he's got a chance of doing that.
One.
Well, we had a frame full of drama before the interval. This could be another one. If Joe Perry can muster a 51 clearance and get us to a respotted black. But not with that shot, because where's the cue ball going?
Foul. Joe Perry 1. Jimmy White 7.
It's just starting to run a little bit tricky for Joe this match. Couldn't legislate for that flick and the cue ball going in the middle.
Just going for an exhibition shot. It doesn't really matter.
Jimmy White 1. Joe
Well, I
Perry
say
7.
it doesn't really matter. Now
Frank
Joe's putting his cue
conceded.
on the
Jimmy
table.
White.
And, well, Jimmy White has continued where he left off before the mid-session interval. He's taken this frame and now gets himself into a lead at 4 frames to 3.
Indeed he does, Rachel. And Joe Perry, well, 1 or 2 worrying signs in the last frame there that the frame before the mid-session interval has had an effect on him. It was interesting that he did go back out of the auditorium after the last frame, which have a quiet word with himself, and come back and get playing again. Because Jimmy is starting to look a little stronger.
He's got a choice of reds to go at here, but he's not that keen on taking them on because he knows if he misses it, he'd put Jimmy right in amongst them. He might refuse this. Don't blame him for that one little bit. Just wait for a better chance just to get a bit of rhythm and a bit of confidence back. He was absolutely flying with that frame 4, 260 breaks, and then a century. Looked like he was going to run away with it.
1. Brown ball. Green, thank you.
Yeah, green's much better than the brown.
Jimmy White, 1.
People thought he tried to pot that. It was just a safety shot. Must admit the crowds here in Derby have been fantastic. They really have. And it's great to be back in Derby again after 14 years at the Assembly Rooms. But what a beautiful venue this Valiant Live is. Just have a look at that. You'd love to be back playing, John. I think you made a century break in the 900. Get that cue out again and get back in the seniors.
Thank you, Dennis. No, it's too many golf courses, pal. Listen, I made a 100 break. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and again. But this is a very tricky safety for Joe to play. It's a good shot to, well, can he reach that plant? Or potential plant? Not so sure. No, outside of the pack. As I say, it was a good shot to lead because you know your opponent has got to play relatively thick. But I don't think he's left anything. Unless it's the one on the left. There's 2 reds on the left. Well, in fact, he can get past the blue. So that shot to Jimmy's has paid dividends.
It's the type of shot he's so good at. I mean, not only the pot, but to control the cue ball and miss the black and come around the table. 10 out of 10 for that one. And in a couple of shots time, he can have the black available into both corners, provided he's dead straight on this one.
3.
No, he's not straight on it. So, as you can see, the black only available in one pocket. Straight on that red, he drops it in, drops the black in, gets rid of the red. That's slight problem, but change of plan. You'll have to come back to that in a couple of shots' time.
Yeah, one thing that's been certainly a feature of the last few days of this man is his ability to compete. As I say, nowhere near his best in the opening session of this final. But he just hung around and hung around. And a brilliant clearance for 3 each. Still
10.
Wonderful at his age to be playing snooker to the level he is, but to be competing and enjoying it as much. Quite remarkable.
He's let that one slip away, though. It's come to a premature end, just simply because he ran through too far with the cue ball to leave that red that's above the black.
One thing he has done is followed up with an excellent safety shot. And he got virtually everything covered, so he didn't waste the shot there, even though he'd been disappointed not to be on the red Dennis was talking about. Yeah, ripple of applause and very much deserved. Good shot that.
Yeah, made a complete hash of that one, unfortunately. Played a very delicate safety shot and played it with a lot of side, and that's always going to affect the path that the cue ball takes. So, chance for Joe. And he needs to get going again. As I say, he's lost a little bit of confidence and a little bit of rhythm.
And that wasn't the cleanest pot. In the centre of the pocket, he was playing for pink, I think, but he's ended up on the yellow. And that's going to be okay, because you can only really get on the black on the right-hand side of the table. Lovely shot. Really well played. That shot might just get him back in the swing of things.
And if he does get back into the swing of things, you know, we could be on our way here for a black ball shootout to decide who wins the British Seniors Open Championship. The very first one. Jimmy White would dearly love to win that. 4 times a World Seniors champion. We heard about the head-to-heads. They've played each other 10 times. It's 5 wins each. But I had a little look, John, and believe it or not, the score is 42 frames to Joe Perry, 39 frames to Jimmy White. So that's how evenly matched they've been down the years.
20. $27. 28.
Well, yeah, they wanted it low to get the cannon into the pack, or high to drop on the red that's near the top cushion. I think he's come in between both. So I don't know whether the bottom red of the cluster is potable. No, it wasn't, so he had to go into the pack. Now he may have forced the cue ball for the one on the right hand side.
35.
And body language suggests he has.
Definitely back in the groove now after that shot. Well, we all thought it was going to be a close final, and it's certainly proving to be that.
43. $44.
Yeah, getting to the point where she's got to be a bit careful. A few more reds, a few more colours, we'll see him over the line. But we said that earlier when he was 3-2 up after breaks of 61-64 in the century.
51.
He looked like he was going to go 4-2, and that didn't happen. And he broke down on 51, so
52.
got to keep your concentration. Not that far away now from making it 4 each.
$59. 60.
And the possibility of making another century break here. That's
60.
the frame safe. Jimmy needing a snooker, but he'd like to knock this in as well.
65.
Yeah, I think that was an important pot, not just for the sake of the scoreline, but also for momentum. One thing you didn't want was Jimmy coming back, trying to lay a snooker on you. And you're in
72.
good flow like this, because, as I say, I think that shot he played early in the break, when he came around the angles and landed on the black, was such a good shot and played so well. I think that gave him a little boost of confidence. And since then, the rest of this has been pretty much exemplary.
He's had the highest break of this year's British Seniors Open, a break of 131.
79.
And he's, as I mentioned, had a century already in this. Oh, what a shame.
Joe Perry.
No
79.
century break. He won't be too disappointed about that. He did what he needed to do. And all of a sudden, we're all level. It's 4 frames each. We started off the best of 13. It's now the best of 5. I don't think Jimmy was quite sure, John. I think he did ask someone, if we go to 6 frames all, is it a black ball shootout? It is, Jimmy.
Yeah, it might be possible, this red. That cluster on the right, the bottom one. I think he can get through the gap between pink and the reds. Yes, he can. So, chance.
One.
Not a bad kiss. In fact, he might even be able to screw this back up. And if he could get onto the red this next to the black, what a shot this would be. And he's played it, and it looks as if he's hit it beautifully. He's on that red, probably just overscrewed it slightly because he can't hold for the
6.
black. So he's got to find a path through for the pink or blue, but made that look so easy with the rest, didn't he, John?
Yeah, he actually just got too much work into it. I mean, I had to try and stay high for this red to get back on the black, but so he hit it so well that it was a
7.
problem, but he's played this nicely. And now he can drop in, play for the red that's at the back of the pack, and he will be on the black.
Twelve. Thirteen.
Might not go into the pack here. He could play a little delicate cannon onto there's 2 reds to the right of the pink, and the other 3 are available. So he might be able to just drop this in without going into them. That's pretty good. He didn't get the cannon quite as he intended, but he's still okay. He
20.
wanted a fuller contact, and it would have been much easier.
Twenty-one.
anywhere bar there.
28.
Don't think he can sneak past that red. No, already you can tell that he's got to play the safety. 3 reds available. He's landed in the 1 spot. He can't have any of them.
Jimmy White, 28.
Yeah, good 28, but he'd be very disappointed. There's at least another 30-odd points there before he had to go into the pack. Worthwhile playing this red and going round the angles. If you leave the cue ball down in the green pocket area with a decent shot, cut off one half of the table, little figure 8, that's the shot round inside the blue, and leave it down by the green area. Well played. May have forced him into a pot here.
Tried to cut that in, but hit it a bit on the thick side. And the cannon on the yellows left a potential shot for Jimmy, as you can see there.
One.
Yeah, you have to be cueing well to knock those in. You have to deliver that cue in a straight line, and he's certainly done that there. I think that's the end of the break. He didn't play it that well because if he misses the middle pocket, I don't think he was still going to be on a red. The only potential pot is the one that's near the black spot. And it's a free shot, really, but he didn't hit the blue very well, John, did he?
Oh, he almost checked it, didn't he? Where you think it was just natural topspin. He couldn't have, the bump wouldn't have been in play, but anyway,
Jimmy
not
White,
much about
6.
it now. It was almost one of those shots that you think, well, whatever I get it down the table, I'm going to be on one. But fortunately for him, he hit the bump in the middle pocket. Yeah, Joe's looking there. If you can get in behind the yellow, that would be absolutely lovely. Give Jimmy all sorts of trouble.
Got to be so careful now because of those reds near that right corner pocket. You can come down off the one to the left and just behind the pink, but he'd have to get the cue ball spot on, otherwise he'd leave a pot on. Similar type shot to the one Joe played. Oh, he hit it too thin, hit it far too thin.
Has he done any damage? Well, yeah. Well, Joe's shaking his head. Maybe he would think that that red pots. So it's screw back, and the other red will actually help the screw back here.
1.
Just couldn't get away from the other reds. So now he's got to play a safety and cover the one that's over the corner. Don't know if you can see the pink. Could leave it down in maybe the yellow pocket and cover that red with the blue. Or has he got another plan from somewhere else?
Round ball. Joe Perry, 1.
Yep, decided to do it that way, and that's a pretty good shot.
That's where the 30-second shot clock comes into play there, when you're in a bit of a situation where you've got to think a little bit longer and you haven't got time to do it. Now what's he left here? Surely he hasn't covered everything into this right corner. Now there's one that pots. Yeah, you can get through to the one near the pocket. Still got to get a bit of work on the cue ball though to get on the blue or pink.
1.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he hit that pretty well. It's one of those shots you needed to power. And this is not a bad little chance if the blue goes in. Certainly to score a few points. You wouldn't see him clearing up from here, but funnier things have happened.
6.
But there's certainly 4 or 5 reds that are readily available.
7. 13. 14.
'Don't think that the red that's next to the black is potable,
20.
even if you got on the left side of the table, so that one's a no-go. At the moment, it's just score a few points,
21.
and get back in the frame and see where it goes from there. Starts getting trickier after the next 2 reds, you would think.
Must have got a heavy contact there. I think he's
27.
going to have the cue ball cleaned. You don't see that so often these days. All down to the Tom chalk, the new chalk that most players, there's a couple of players, Ronnie, that doesn't use the new chalk, but it's certainly taken the bad contacts out of the game. It's been terrific for the game of snooker. It used to be the ball was being cleaned all the time, going back a few seasons ago.
28.
I think he may have come straight here, which in this instance isn't great. He needed an angle to get on this pink to go over for the red, the loose one away from the cushion, but you can't do it from here. So he won't be scoring any more points, but he's going to slip in behind the black.
34. Joe Perry.
Well,
34.
I thought he was, but still right back in the frame.
He'd be a wee bit disappointed he didn't get tight in behind the black, because it would have given him a very good advantage there. Left this straightforward safety shot for Jimmy, but had he have got the snooker in behind the black, it wasn't going to be easy to get them safe.
That's a poor one again. I have to say, safety's not been great in the last frame and a bit. Complete miss hit. One thing you can't do with that safety if you're hitting across it is thick. You've got to get that thin.
1.
Now, the thing is as well, if he wanted to, he could pot the blue, get on the red, and move the other one off the cushion. I know it's not ideal where it is there, but it's a possibility. He's thinking about it. It's one of those shots, if there was a colour over the hole, you'd have no hesitation playing it, but because you can't guarantee to land on a colour, he probably won't play it. So that red that's near the side cushion looks like the important ball.
6. 7.
It'd be interesting to see what colour he plays for when he takes this red next to the green. The one that'll get you over near the difficult red would be the blue, but you need to be over the left side of the table. Failing that, you've got to get absolutely spot on the pink. Yeah, I like this shot.
30.
Though he's gone a little bit far. He's got to play it with a bit of stun to come off this top cushion to the right of the black and cannon that red out. It's a good effort. It's a pretty good effort.
18.
Yeah, not the absolute perfect cannon he was looking for. It does go into the yellow pocket, but it's slightly a blind shot. The pocket's not in his eye line. Makes it a bit trickier.
Joe Perry.
Now, has he got the
18.
cover? He may have got the cover, you know. Got a very good second prize, Dennis.
He thought it was in, didn't he? He was on his way around the table, but you're absolutely right. He's got the second prize. I don't know if he can swerve this enough around the yellow to create the potting angle on this red. He did it in the previous frame, or a couple of frames ago, and he tried to do it again. He did it on the brown, if you remember the frame before the mid-session interval. Come off the cushion and knock the brown in, but it all went wrong this time.
One.
Well, the one thing you've got to do is get high on the green to get back to the yellow. I mean, he's now got to play this with check side. A cue ball had to be coming down the table further than that. It's a very good pot with check side, that is. That's a lot better than it looked.
4.
So, this yellow and green.
6. Nine.
So you'd have to say, ultimately, it was Jimmy's poor safety there in that frame that caused himself some trouble. Even though Joe did have a nice bit of fortune when he missed the last red and had him snookered. But very difficult at the moment, Dennis, to predict the way these frames are going to go.
We're heading
18.
closer to that black ball shootout, aren't we? If it's 6 frames all, it'll all be decided on the black ball shootout.
24.
But he's back queuing very well now. It's just that frame after the mid-session interval, he looked a bit shaky. And that doesn't matter about the black. He'll be feeling a lot better now with Joe Perry, because he gets himself into the lead at 5 frames to 4.
You may indeed be right, Rachel. It's a cracker, whatever it is. Jimmy was looking pretty strong at 4-3, but Joe's dug in and got presented with a pretty nice chance in the last from a poor safety from Jimmy and made the most of it, even though he got a little lucky on the last red. But 5-4, Joe Perry. We've always been close in the matches, as Dennis mentioned earlier, and it's another one here. So all to play for. Yeah, that red didn't quite sneak past the yellow for Joe to have a pot in the middle, so he may just skin off this red, bring the cue ball to the top of the table. Not much else he's got, really.
Just got to be a little bit careful if he's going to knock this red back up the table, that he doesn't get a double kiss. Well, he's got away with it. He hit it all wrong, but he'll settle for that. But that gets the frame back to normal. It's always an awkward frame when you get a red up the other end of the table. There's not a player in the game has enjoyed a frame where you're knocking the reds up to the back end of the table. His safety has been letting him down a little bit, John.
Yeah, I think when he's been in amongst the balls, it's been good. And aside from one or two little shots where he lost the cue ball, his long game's been good. Scoring's good. There's one department that's been a little bit below the others. It's been in the safety department. Far too risky to take a pot there, particularly not with a colour being available. Just feel as if Jimmy's got to play 2 or 3 really good safety shots in this, not give Joe anything easy. Hasn't really had to work too hard for the opportunities in the last couple of frames. Couldn't see a way back to the balk area, so he's left a tempter. One in the middle and one near the top cushion, but it looks like the one in the middle.
One.
That's worked out okay because the angle he has on the green, he can get back up towards the reds. Although those reds near the black spot are blocked into the left corner, so he's got a couple more that he could play on.
Joe Perry, 1.
Might just have taken his eye off the pot there. Was thinking more about what he was doing with the cue ball. Didn't see that miss coming.
One.
Interested to see where the pink goes here. Just checking, doesn't, so up to the blue,
7.
which actually is quite handy. Not easy at the moment to remove the red that's
8.
on the black spot. It's the one you'd like to get rid of, but of course the red to the right is stopping that being potted. And that's the one you'd love to get rid of.
$14. $15.
Yeah, he got a bit of action, but he didn't catch the red that he intended to there, which has kept the cue ball near the cushion. A bit of pressure on this pink if he takes it on. But he's coming up the right side of the table, and they all seem to be blocking each other, but this is not easy. That wasn't easy. Has the bump come to his rescue?
Jimmy White, 15.
Tough shots, those. And this is not all that easy either, but it could pay dividends. If it goes in, he'd be on the pink. No.
Well, Jimmy White, 4.
Well, that's baffled him.
One.
Yeah, decent pot again, but so you'd like the cue ball further up the table, nearer the pink. It's a tough pot on the pink,
Ping ball.
and he's going for that one. Yeah, that's a good shot.
7.
I say very skinny and well played.
Eight.
It looks as if there's enough room for the black to go back on its spot, which is going to tie it up. He tried to develop the black spot area there with that last shot, did Jimmy? But he's only got the pink really to work with. Blue's out of
15.
commission, and he hasn't even dropped on a red, so that is the end of break. Unless he takes a double on here. No double, just a safety. He hasn't gone in off, surely. Do you know, it
Jimmy
might be a
White,
snooker
15.
behind the angle. It might be. Let's see if it's tight in. Sometimes you can be angled, not. But if it's over to the left there, you can be snookered with the cushion.
Yeah, didn't fancy the real thin one and bringing the cue ball back into the balk area there, so played the dump shot. Presuming those two reds aren't anywhere near a plant in the middle pocket, otherwise wouldn't have played them, but I know what Jimmy's looking at. Well, certainly not a plant now. And they mustn't have been beforehand, otherwise he'd have been down playing that. It's funny that shot clock, Dennis. It just makes you rush, doesn't it? It's like a shock to the system.
Yeah, and he rushed the safety shot, didn't he, without finding the spot for the cue ball, and he's left a potential pot, as you can see there. He can get past the one red. No, no. Listen, you can expect a few misses now that they're so close. 5-4, first to 7. Or if it's 6-all, a black ball shootout, they're going to get a little bit tense. This is a big deal for these players to lift the very first Jennings bet. British Open Seniors. It's a big deal.
1.
And all of a sudden, in a couple of shots' time, that black spot area could be free.
8. 9. 15.
He'll try and win the frame here without having to play any little cannons.
16.
They're just a bit awkward, those 5 reds. The one near the left middle is not a problem, but as I say, he'd be reluctant to play any cannons. Always had that red that I mentioned. He might just have tried to flick the left-hand red there of the two that's to the right of the black there, but as I say, they're a bit awkward, but he's what, 56?
24.
So he's going to need one of the reds. So now he may have to play the cannon.
He couldn't have played that any better, Dennis. That was beautifully judged, wasn't it? If you're going to get the cannon. Just left a perfect angle. Well, doesn't have to.
That's a big advantage, not having to risk the cannon, isn't it?
31.
Oh, yes, you can see it. Flies in.
32.
And he's still in there fighting. It's getting ever closer to a 6-6 and a Blackwell fight, Dennis.
38.
It's just got that feel. And all big frames, but the next one's absolutely
39.
huge, isn't it? If you can get 6-5 up, a couple of bites of the cherry. And she goes.
$45. 46.
So that attempted long red from Joe, where he thought he was going to drop it in and land on the black. Left Jimmy that shot along the top cushion, which he knocked in. And the rest is history. We're going to be all square at 5 apiece.
52. 53.
And I suppose at this stage, if you can just win the frame with your opponent just potting one ball, that helps. But the way they're both queuing now, if you make a mistake, you're going to lose the frame. So it's been a
60.
fabulous final. Joe's made the higher breaks.
61.
But, Jimmy's been very consistent. He's just had breaks of 44 and 58, whereas Joe has had 61, 64, a century 51, 79. But it's been a very entertaining final.
68. $70.
You should just clear up using the rest, shouldn't he, John?
73.
This is just impressive stuff, isn't it? I know he probably hates me mentioning his age, but he is 63. I mean, this is just some going.
77.
To be able to see the balls, for a starter. See them as well as he's seen them. Still queuing well. Still competing.
82.
Absolutely marvellous. Go on, Jimmy. Not this pink in. not to be. And it doesn't matter. What a fantastic contribution that was from Jimmy White. Wonderful break. And the crowd are loving this, and why not? It's 5-all.
So has this man, gentleman Joe Perry. They've been a fair audience, even though, as I say, there's a lot of Jimmy White supporters. If you produce the snooker on the table, you'll get the response from a crowd like this.
Yeah, not the best break off from Joe. I'm looking, maybe he can pot it, and he can. It's a good pot. He wouldn't have given for another 2 revolutions on that cue ball just to be higher. And one thing it will do is it'll flick the first red away, but tough pot. Can you believe that? It's flicked it out, and where the red's gone, it stopped the other red going in the corner. That's unbelievable, Dennis.
I was just about to say he played it perfectly, and but the red next, the pink might go. Yeah, just enough room, is there? Oh yeah, straight in the middle of the pocket. I thought he was a bit unlucky there as well, John, but that red was just available, and that makes a vast difference. Well, what he did in the deciding frame in the semi-final against Alfie Burden
16.
was exceptional, and he's looking pretty good here.
$17.
Nice, lovely little cannon he's played there. Really nice.
23. 24.
Didn't quite get that as he
31.
intended. He's a little bit twixt in between here. Should have been much easier than this, but he's got a slight angle, so he should be able to get out onto the black.
$32.
Well, that was the extended rest there, but I don't think he's missed one with the rest,
No.
John.
And there's the cannon coming up, Dennis. This is a, as you say, you mentioned the pack before. This is one where you stun up into the either the left-hand red or the one just to the right. It's a stun shot. Try and hold the cue ball, and if you screw it, you could lose it. See the stun powered through, bounce off the cushion. Couldn't play that any better. It could have come a little better for him, but you couldn't play the shot any better. Looks like it's the clip in the middle.
Can you
Jimmy
believe it?
White.
He just
39.
overcut it slightly, and you can tell with the white where it's finished next to the green. He just overcut that. How costly is that going to be? He was well on his way to getting the 6th frame. And then guaranteed a shootout. It's the first to 7 that goes through, so we're still quite away from being a potential shootout. If you get to 6, at least you know you're at least going to have a chance at the black ball shootout.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. You
9.
got 2 bites of the cherry, don't you? You got chance to win the frame and win it outright, but if you don't win the frame, at least you've got a re-swatted black. He's just sitting in his chair, absolutely stewing at the minute, Jimmy White, because he knows that was a brilliant chance. Unfortunately for him,
15.
overclipped the red. He's just got to sit and suffer and hope that Joe Perry makes a mistake.
16.
Make no mistake, there's plenty of pressure out there. Don't care who you are and how experienced you are. It's a final and one they both want to win. Yeah, played out into an area there, Joe, quite cleverly. Give himself a chance on 3 reds there, the way he played that.
$24. $31. $32.
There's just one red that's a little bit awkward behind the black, but it's not all that difficult, but he's got a long way to go before he gets to that. Well, let's have a look at the scoreboard now. 39 points, so he's going to need that red that's
39.
near the cushion. But as you
40.
said, John, a lot of pressure at this stage.
Yeah, it's come fairly straight. I mean, not a problem. Screw back. You've got a few reds you can play on. I think he's played to come on the right-hand side one, and I don't think he screwed it enough. He's come up short.
46.
Yep, we needed another roll on the cue ball to be on the right-hand side one, so change your plan. Slightly trickier pot.
47.
Well negotiated. And now he can play a screw shot off the blue. Top cushion and side cushion, and in behind the 2 reds. Nicely played.
52.
Yeah, when Jimmy missed that
56.
red that Joe just potted the red into, he missed a little cut back into that pocket. It was pretty straightforward. He just overcut it, and I said at the time, how costly is it going to be? And it's proving very costly at the moment.
59.
20 the difference. So
60.
just leave himself on this red to guarantee Jimmy needing a snooker if he can pot it.
Yep, this is Jimmy White's last hope in this frame. As I say, he was in, had his chance.
67.
But this red will surely do it for Joe Perry. Ooh,
68.
just about. But what a fantastic break this has been under the cosh. Now make sure he knocks this black in though, just to keep Jimmy away from coming back. Yeah, beautifully played. It's been a great break this, you have to say that.
75. $77.
He's already made a
80.
century in this final, in the 5th frame. He holds the highest break, a break of 131. And this could be another century coming up here.
84.
And what a standard he has produced in this year's Seniors British Open Championship. It's been marvellous.
89.
I think his match with Matthew Stevens was one of the best I've seen in the history of the seniors.
Yeah, and of course, let's not forget, Solomon favourite was Stuart Bingham at the
95.
start of the week, and Joe beat him 4-0. So that was a great start, but this has been exemplary cueing and wonderful break building at a time he needed it most. He's missed the black. He won't be bothered about that, Dennis. That was an absolutely fabulous response from Joe Perry in a brilliant final, and he leads by 6 frames to 5.
First thing is get a good break off, and that's not a good break off from Jimmy. He's come up a long way short of where he wanted the cue ball. He's given it an early chance for Joe Perry.
One.
Gone wrong, I think. I think he's on that black. Nope. Don't think that pot, so safety coming up.
Blue ball. Jimmy White 1. Fault. Joe Perry 4.
Yeah, that could be a costly in off there from Jimmy.
1. The clock restarted, Joe. Joe Perry 1.
Well, welcome to viewers who've joined us from 5 here on 5 Action for this final of the British Seniors Open. Joe Perry with the lead. He needs just one more frame for victory. In commentary, John Parrott and Dennis Taylor.
Thank you, Rachel, and things getting very tense. And the crowd really getting involved with this final. Just a couple of errors. I mean, that was a tough shot that he took on there, and he got close to it, but yeah, what a finish we could have here. There's still a potential for a black ball shootout if Jimmy can win this frame. It's been an absolutely wonderful tournament, John.
Yeah, I think it's been wonderful to be back here in Derby. I love the snooker here, and so we used to play in the assembly rooms for many a year, but I think this venue's been excellent. Everyone's enjoyed it. And we've got a fitting finale to the last few days of play. Now, has he got the cover? He may do behind the brown. Yes, I think he's okay. That red on the right hand side is not available. Well, that's a total mishit. Has he got away with it?
There must be something he'll pot into the right corner. But he's had a bit of a result there, because that was a very poor shot that Joe played, and that is an indication of the bit of tension that's creeping in this final. All blocking each other, but there's one will cut in. Ah, great shot. No prizes for guessing where the cue ball's going.
I'll tell you what though, we'd have paid good money for a kiss on the brown. It was
Jimmy,
full ball. That green was absolutely perfect to get back down the table, but anyway, not to be. Joe will come side cushion, top cushion, and try and drop on the red on the left hand side. Virtually dead weight he'd be looking for there. Well, he's come for the one near the middle, and that's a good choice as well. And he's played it superbly well.
Decelerated on that. He just throws his hand up there. He wanted to get in behind the brown and blue and near the cushion, and just didn't get through the ball, or he didn't push the cue through as far as he wanted.
You know, one good safety shot here. That brown and blue is a massive target. Just up there somewhere like that could pay dividends. I mean, it's such a huge target to get in behind. And that doesn't look particularly appetising, that camera angle. I don't know what he's got here. Yeah, he was in about more than a spot of bother there, Dennis, wasn't he?
It was caused by the shot that he played previously, when he should have had the white where he finished up playing it from. He had a chance to get in there and just decelerated when using the rest.
One.
Okay, the black's out of commission at the moment, but the pink's in play. Blue's way up next to the brown, so it'll be all done with the pink. So it's not going to be straightforward. It'll be straight on this red. It's okay. You can get out onto the pink. Yeah, that's all right.
Four.
Yeah, that red you could see that was close to the cue ball is potable as well past the black, so it's handy. And then if you get that, you can get on the black, so there's a few options. Make no mistake, no matter how long you've been a professional and how long you've been doing this as your job, you will be nervous.
11.
The old feelings of competition, Dennis, is that they never leave you.
But the one thing that Joe Perry's always had was a brilliant temperament, and he's going to have to call on that here, as well as the ability. You've got to keep calm when the pressure's on.
$17. $18.
It starts to get a little trickier now. Okay, those reds aren't great near the black. So we'll take the one that's on the left hand side, the one I mentioned earlier I thought he was going to drop into after safety.
24.
This one's here, so nearly cushion and ball together.
$25.
Taking them well so far. And he can only sit on and hope there's a mistake coming. Yeah, he just had a little look there, didn't he? If he can stun this red in and go across the face of the black and leave himself on that black, those two reds all of a sudden become available. So he had a little look to see if he could land there. Here he is.
30.
just across, and he's now perfect on this black, I think, which will, of course, open up the two reds.
Just as you predicted, John, and Jimmy can't do anything about
39.
this.
$40.
Can't stay on the red that's next to the black, but there's a couple of other reds there that, well, they're not perfectly placed, so he's got to just give this a little bit of thought. It's okay, the red will go up into the corner pocket, so that was just a little potential
47.
stumbling block there, but he's recovered it very nicely, provided he knocks this in. No. Oh, he thought he'd missed it.
48.
He holds his hand up. Now, whether he got a bad contact there and thought he'd missed it, John, but he was surprised when the red went in.
Yeah, it was a strange one. It did look like it was not going directly for the pocket, but, well, in it went.
I thought when he held his hand up, maybe it just flicked the yellow fractionally, but I don't think so. Went straight in.
That was a proper shot he's just played there. That was as good as you'd want to see at this stage of the match. This has been a very, very good way to run across the line from Joe Perry. Break of 95 in the last, and he's been, well, wonderful in amongst the balls here, because this wasn't straightforward when he came to the table.
Well, Jimmy knows it's all over, taking the
58.
bow tie off. He's given it a wonderful run here
59.
in the first ever Jennings Bet UK British Open Championship, but it's the gentleman, Joe Perry, that's marching on to the final. And now he knows he's won it. As I said, Jimmy, wonderful support, but Joe Perry's got an awful lot of support here as well. And he's enjoying himself now.
67.
This will mean so much to Joe Perry. He's a ranking event winner on the main tour, but this will mean just as much. Oh.
Yeah, they're all going in. And I should remind him, Dennis, when he was in the commentary box with me in York, he was moaning by the fact that Stuart Bingham had come back to play in the seniors and he'd got him first round. So I'll remind him when he's at the trophy.
73.
Doesn't matter about the red. What a wonderful final these two players have given us. And Jimmy White, the gentleman he is, comes forward to congratulate Joe Perry. And isn't he over the moon? And Joe Perry becomes the Jennings Bet UK Seniors Champion for the very first time it's been played. Well done to both players. You've given us a wonderful final.
Your runner-up receiving the silver medal. Still going strong at the tender age of 63, the whirlwind, Jimmy White. And the winner, receiving the gold medal, the trophy and the title, 2025 Jennings Bet Seniors British Open Champion, the gentleman, Joe Perry. Once again, here he goes, your champion, Joe Perry.